Yeah, the doctor's opinion suggests that my, as an alcoholic, as whatever addict, an addict to alcohol, an addict to opiates, an addict to sedatives in general, that my peculiar reaction to those substances may be the manifestation of an allergy. And from a medical perspective, an allergy is an abnormal reaction to something that we've encountered. If I have an allergic reaction to a bee sting, I don't have a particular problem with bees. I just have a problem once one stings me. When I drink alcohol, I don't have a problem that I live in a world where there's alcohol. But if I have this allergy that the doctor's talking about, when I drink alcohol, it doesn't affect me in the same way it does my peers. Alcohol tended to energize me. And I had that called to my attention. I didn't realize it. Even before I got to recovery, I had it called to my attention that, everyone else would have a few drinks and then they'd slow down. And that was not the case for me. People would have a few drinks and nod out in the back seat. I would drink all night so that I could keep driving. It was just a different thing. And then when I got into the opiate world, same thing happened, that manifestation of the allergy. I would go into the hospital so sick that I couldn't even hold my head up, and they'd give me some Dilaudid to try and ease the pain I told them I had. And the minute they put the Dilaudid in my drip, I'm yanking it out of my hand and out of my, yanking the lines out and running out in the parking lot to smoke. So obviously it was having a different reaction on me than it was on their typical opiate addict or alcohol patient, whatever. I had a very different reaction, and I've since found that that's what the doctor was talking to us about, that we're energized by the sedative, alcohol or whatever. And I see the same thing I've watched the meth addicts, shoot up and nod out just like a heroin addict, and that shouldn't happen, so and unless you have this abnormal reaction. Yeah, they're talking about the sensory experience that I gain the minute I even give myself permission to use any of these drugs or substances is so tangible and so sensory that it can sustain me. It can lift me up from a really lethargic state just to go pursue that which I can already feel before I get there. And so the message that can get my attention is going to also have to move a few mountains. It's going to have to hit me with some depth. It's going to have to hit me in a place that I can feel. And for me, in the early days, I can only tell you I wasn't feeling much. I had anesthetized myself right to the streets and damn near to death. So, literally coming out of a coma and being trained how to walk and feed myself again. You had to hit me with some power to get me up moving around, much less think about a life without anesthetizing myself. Yeah, it's pretty logical if you think about it. We all, at some point in our drinking and addiction, knew we were not doing anything that was conducive to anything other than what we were doing, complete devastation. And the idea that we're going to somehow just do an about face and all this self-destructive stuff that's brought me to this is just going to go away, and the same self that destroyed me is now going to recreate my life. It's just silly. It makes no sense to anyone logical. So we obviously are going to have a faith in something greater than ourselves, and it has to go with us. And the beauty of 12-step recovery is we literally prove the power to us through us. My limiting thinking is still going on while the power in me is taking me to other places. I still, to this day, in spite of all the things that I have been taken through and delivered to, I still get certain things imparted to me in the spirit that I'm thinking, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. And I got this weird war going on within my head. We can't say that. Oh, here we go, and off we go. And I'm not talking about being ridiculous. I'm being about speaking destiny out before us, and some of the things that we learn to do when we start growing and walking in the Spirit. And all you have to do is know any of our journeys in this product. All of us have been down to where society had written us off. And now we're out on the byways and highways lifting people's sons and daughters back to them. And I don't think anyone would have drafted us for that purpose in our cups, but the one who restored us did.